Welcome back. As you can see, we're going to have a little fun right now because my next guest became an American celebrity chef when she won Food Network Star Season 5. Yeah. Her latest book is called Tasting Grace. Invites us to a gourmet dinner table that connects us with God, with one another, and with ourselves. She's here to tell us about her book and to cook us a culinary delight. Will you please welcome Melissa d'Arabian. Melissa, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So excited.
What a delight.
Well, first of all, the whole concept that you've done in this book, it's recipes, but it's more than that. It's a message. It's a message about why people and families need to connect to each other when they eat. Why is that important?
Well, whoever is around our table is far more important than whatever it is that we are serving them. And we've lived it, we've gotten into the space where we think that hospitality is performance.
Yeah.
And we know that it's not. What does God say about food? And it turns out God has a lot to say about food, and it's not always in line with what society is saying about food.
So does he say anything about biscuits and gravy? I'm just curious. Keith and I want to know.
I think biscuits and gravy are God's, God's meal. But you know, here's the joy that we're given with food and God. God is using food to reach down to us and bring us together, and he invites us into hospitality, into connecting, and into patience. And so the recipe I have to show today invites you into a little bit of patience because it involves a stew. And letting the stew stew is perhaps maybe a little bit of a gift from God. Maybe it's not a flaw of the food system, but rather a feature of the food system.
Is this something that is easy enough that a person can do and make it work for their family?
Absolutely, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. We marinated some chuck beef, a nice, inexpensive cut of meat that is just going to become tender and flavorful as it cooks for a long time. So we marinated it overnight. Then we sautéed it up with a little bit of bacon. And yes.
Okay.
Also God's food.
Yeah.
Right?
There we go.
And then, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add in some other ingredients and then send it into a braise. And I'm just going to show you. We're going to add in, so I've got the meat already browned in here with a little bit of carrot and onion and the bacon, of course. So adding in some more onion, a little bit of garlic. And you can smash or mince that if you want. Some herbs, just some rosemary, some thyme, and some bay leaves. And then we add in just the marinade, which is just red wine and a little bit of red wine vinegar. And then add in a little bit of water. And this is just gonna go into the oven for about 3 hours. Or you can put it on your stovetop if you want it on really low. And just let it braise. We're so quick to wanna have the fast thing. And I get it, I'm a busy mom. But maybe sometimes there's something to be said for letting the stew stew. And I think that every meal, every bite of food we have can bring us closer to God and to each other and to our earth and to ourselves.
And after all, he created all the food that we ever put on our tables anyway, so.
Yes, and he could have made the world less delicious than it is. Have you ever thought about that? God didn't have to make food delicious.
Never thought of that.
And he did.
Yeah.
He is welcoming us into delight. So this idea of get into the gym and work off as punishment that last pumpkin pie slice that you had with Aunt Edna and enjoyed and connected over, that doesn't come from God. I don't see that anywhere in the Bible where it says that exercise is now punishment for being bad and having pie.
I knew I loved her. All right, so now you've got the finished product over here.
I do. Want to get us plates?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Give you a bowl.
And then as you see, I have macaroni because I feel like macaroni is like the best pasta ever. Right?
Now, is this a base for the beef?
Yeah, so we're going to put a little bit of macaroni in our bowl, so I'll let you do it. I topped it with a little bit of breadcrumbs and butter and just got it a little bit extra yummy.
There you go.
And then we just baked it for a few minutes.
Okay.
And then let's get our spoon here.
All right.
And then we'll just add some stew right on top. My hands are clean, can I?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Just a little bit
I've eaten in some places, Melissa, trust me, you're fine.
There we go. There, a little bit of breadcrumbs just to have a little bit of texture.
Okay.
And there you go. Voila, bon appetit.
What is this called?
This is called a daube à la Provençale.
Say what?
Which is, yeah, daube. Think of it as just like a beef stew.
Okay.
Provence is the south of France.
Okay.
And that's where my husband is from. And that's where I learned to relax and sit in and enjoy slowing down for a moment at the table.
It sounds so fancy, but it's
can
stew.
I try? Yeah, well, that's yes. I didn't do all this cooking for you not to eat it.
This is good.
Right? What do you think? Right? But
I'm going to give it a new name.
Well, oh, yeah, what?
Beef stew.
Beef stew. That's genius.
Because I can't pronounce the other one. This is great. Total cooking time.
Well,
Prep and all. What would it? You got to marinate.
The prep is quick. It's the marinating, and then you stick it in the oven for a few hours. I think the joy of tasting grace is leaning into this world where God says, I gave you food for you to delight in and for you to connect in. And so for us to just reconnect to that and step away from this idea that we need to, check Pinterest to have a dinner party. Let's invite each other into our homes and connect.
Well, Melissa, I want to tell you, this would be a great Christmas present, not just for women, but for men. I wouldn't mind having this. It's called Tasting Grace. And I want to encourage you to get your copy of Melissa D. Arabian's wonderful, wonderful book. It's called Tasting Grace. You can get it everywhere books are sold, online, bookstores, to learn more about Melissa and get her recipes. There you go. And also some cooking tips. Go to melissadaarabian.net.